Hi guys,
How
how
are
are
you doing?
you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Doing lovely. How about yourself?
I'm really good.
Yeah,
I'm really good. Yeah. Yeah, it's been raining and stuff in LA, which is weird, but it
yeah,
happens. It happens.
yeah. It happens.
So thanks for having
So,
me.
That's a pretty rare
Mhm.
occurrence for you guys, isn't it?
welcome to the Replica program. This is episode 3.
Mhm.
We've interviewed Joe Ochman, who did Jiminy Cricket in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh,
We
cool.
interviewed, yeah, we interviewed Vincent Corazano. I still don't know if that's the right way to say it.
Oh, Vince.
Um,
Vince Carrazzo.
It,
Vince
isn't
yeah,
it
Carrazzo.
Kraza?
Vince Corazano.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
your what? He's your client?
He's not
Vi-
my client. He's my
Oh. Oh.
We had him on.
Oh,
Like he
okay, Vince. Yeah, Vince.
like
He's
yes.
married. He's married to the redhead. She's older than him. She's on Broadway, right?
Nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think he
I know.
mentioned this redhead. We'll have to bring it up to him next time I talk to him.
Yes, she's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's on
Yeah.
Broadway. She's a
That's
strong
great.
actress. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Vince and I
Is
were
she
with the
Mary
same.
Jane Watson?
No, I forget her name, but she's a nice woman.
Did he marry Mary Jane Watson? Yes.
He married
Yes.
Mary Jane Watson. We uh we were with the same voiceover agency, so
Right,
DPN.
that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
No
that's
wonder
cool.
you two both got hired for. Well, let's get into it. Blue, are you able to do the questions, or do you want me to do it? Because I have them right here.
Let's
In case
find
you want
out.
me to do it.
Because, okay,
Yeah.
so a little bit of context for you, Chanel. I normally do this on my computer. My computer is currently out of commission, so I'm trying to make it work with my phone. I apologize for the low quality.
No worries.
Let me see if I can switch over. Okay, it's reloading the Google Doc. Hopefully this doesn't kick me out. Okay. Yeah, so I see the
frozen?
questions here. So why don't you tell us about yourself?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
am I?
a little bit
Frozen
about
what you
me.
hate. Yeah, tell us a bit about yourself.
Mhm.
Well, my name is Shanelle Gray-Faulkner. I'm remarried after my my divorce. I
Yes.
am 45 years of age.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, I'm old lady. I started out. I was on.
I would never have guessed.
Well, thank you. I was on Broadway at 8 years old. I did Les Miserables on Broadway. I started acting at a very young age.
Mhm.
But that was more my mom's dream than mine. And
I see.
I really wanted to be behind the camera or do what I do now. I'm a talent manager. But I worked a lot as an actor, a voice actor, and an actor. I'd been doing voice acting since I was little.
Mhm.
I, was on the, Flintstones ads and
Right.
the my buddy, doll ads and all that stuff. So I had been doing this stuff for a very long time.
Can I ask who
And,
you were on the Flintstones ads?
you know how they did the 10 million strong and growing? I was the one of the voice actors at 10 million strong. I wasn't the and growing, but we were the 10 million
Oh,
strong.
okay, cool.
Yeah. So I did that, and I've been doing this forever, And so when I got old enough, I got married. I stopped acting. I was on camera as well. And in 2007, I met my ex-husband. I got married in 2009. I had some children, and I still did voiceover. I booked a big Wendy's campaign when I was pregnant with my first daughter. And I did Kingdom Hearts as well. And I left the acting field and the voiceover field after all that because my ex-husband and I actually had a big acting and voiceover studio for 20 years, Gray Studios.
I read about this. Yeah,
Yes,
you guys split when you split your company.
Yes,
split or something.
we did, and then I sold mine because I I'm a really good talent manager. That's where I wanted to go.
I was wondering about that because I couldn't find any info on it. But yeah,
I just, my daughters have his, and we don't have to. I don't have to worry about competing and having my daughters go through all of that. And I had a different passion anyways. After 20 years of doing the same thing, I was really burnt. So
burnt out.
Yeah, and they still had their legacy.
I guess I never thought of the possibility of like if a couple goes into a joint venture together and then they separate, they would then become competitors if they stayed in the same field.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
well, we were both excellent at it, right? And so the only thing that we both knew how to do was that. So, it would either be competitors or one sell and the other move on to something else that was still in the industry. So it was just better. At first we were competitors, both doing really well. And then I could tell that my daughters were, always having to, I just thought of them turning 18 and having to choose one or something. And I just felt like I didn't want them
trying to figure out who to root for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or each taking one. It was just weird. It became weird.
Yeah.
So
my parents have gone through a divorce in the past few years, so I know exactly how that's like.
Yeah.
And since I still live with them, even though I'm an adult, I've been more involved than I probably would like to be. But
exactly.
So I know exactly how that is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want them to have to be involved, and they have been more involved than I would have liked them to be as well, because they're 15 and 13, and I wanted to make it a little bit easier for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get the role of Larxene?
Let's see. Well, I auditioned.
That's the main.
Yes. When you're a voice actor, you have to audition all the time. And I'm a talent manager, so I send auditions for voiceover all the time. And it's may the best man or woman win, right? It's whoever the producers respond to for the role. Right. And for the big voiceovers like that, you do a callback. Most of the time for the commercial voiceovers or the animation, and most of the time for the smaller voiceovers, you book right off of the first audition. But for things like Kingdom Hearts and Wendy's, like I did, and all that, you have to go on a callback. And I remember.
That's right, you voiced Wendy. Yeah,
I did. I voiced Wendy, and I remember I was pregnant. I was in Vegas visiting my in-laws. And I got the call back for Wendy's, and I was thinking, there's nowhere I can do this callback, because I would have gone into my agency in LA, and my ex-husband was like, "Are you kidding me? This is a huge money thing. We are going to get a
sitting there with his mind blown. He's like,
yeah,
what?
he's like, what? We're doing this callback." So he rented a studio. Yeah, he was like, "We're renting a studio right now in Vegas, and you are doing this callback." So I was gonna.
Wendy is one of the most. Wendy is one of the most wild, like, I guess, corporate mascots that anybody could voice, just because of how, like, the Twitter page has given her so much personality.
Now it is, yeah.
Which,
now it is, for sure.
She is taking shots at McDonald's right and left. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so and McDonald's has gotten so expensive. I don't know if you know, but like, I go there, if I go there, once in a blue moon to get food for my kids or whatever, it's like all of a sudden it's like $70 in McDonald's. I'm like, wow,
it's
so
worked
expensive
at McDonald's for a couple months last year, and I was getting a lot of complaints even last year of like, why is everything so expensive now? And I'm just like,
so crazy.
It's capitalism, man. I can't make the prices. I'm sorry. I'm just the guy who's taking the order.
Just the cashier, man.
Well, it was really interesting though, because it really got it got so expensive. I mean, I just couldn't believe it, because it's McDonald's. It's supposed to be more affordable when you go get food for the family, and it is not. So it is not. I was just really surprised. Same thing with Domino's. I ordered Domino's the other night, and I couldn't believe it. I won't order Domino's ever again. It's it was really, really, really expensive. It cost me $78. There's 4 of us. We each got a small thing, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Even with like how fast food used to be, the idea was always that you're willing to pay a little bit extra for the service of not having to make your own food, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But it's like it's so insanely much more. Like the fact that you buy like, I don't know, you might buy a burger, and it'd be a burger for like $7 or $8, as opposed to you could spend like $12 and have a pack of like 20 burgers that you could make in like your own oven at home. It's like why would you buy a single one?
Yeah, we cook at home now mostly, just because it doesn't matter how much money you make. It's so ridiculous to go out anymore. You go to the grocery store and spend a couple $100, and you go out twice, and that's how much you spend at the grocery store. So doesn't make sense.
Hey,
exactly.
So
I auditioned for Kingdom Hearts, and then I got the callback. I did the callback, and then I spent a lot of time over the next year and a half of going into the studio and recording Larxene. And it was super fun. I got to watch the character as I was doing it, and get to do all those amazing laughs.
I love your laugh.
Which is my laugh.
I was going to say that the Larxene laugh is
I was going to say it's not the Larxene laugh, it's the Shanelle laugh. They did Larxene after Shanelle.
Kingdom Hearts 3 specifically has a lot of the data fights where they repeat a lot of like they have 4 lines for whatever, and she's just every like worm and just insulting you every 5 seconds, and then just
and they do a lot of they do those bits at the end where they have us do those efforts and that stuff, where they have you do that that stuff, and and they have you do that, and they use it throughout the entire game, so
I wanted to let you know this because when we first started interviewing Joe, he actually didn't know much at all about like the series. He really was very isolated with the lines he did for Jiminy. And when we interviewed Vince, he knew a little bit more, but he was still not like super well versed. I can already tell from speaking to you, you're a little bit more aware of what's going on with your character and stuff. And that, I want you to know, that takes a weight off of me, because I was terrified going into this of having to eventually be like, how do I explain to her that I hate her character? But I love
Shanelle, I need you to understand. When I told Blue that I contacted you, that was the first thing he said. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna have to pretend like I like Larxene." And I'm like, I think Shanelle knows.
Yeah, I think everybody knows. Everybody hates Larxene. Larxene is really not.
That means you did your job so insanely well, because it like the mannerisms of the character in like the model, like that can only go so far. It really is like a lot of your voicing work that just like something about her gets under my skin so badly. But I think that's really a testament to how wonderful of a job you did.
She has to be able to get under skin, otherwise she's not going to be Larxene, right? And I think
exactly.
The passive aggressive nature of Larxene is what they wanted. The thing about Larxene is that I think a lot of girls just played her mean, and she's not. She uses her charm to be mean, which is so annoying, because passive aggressive is the most annoying thing.
It's very mean girls.
It's very mean girls, but it's also taunting and putting men down and doing all of that.
Did you know that in the text,
which is very easy for her to do when.
What were you saying?
I was going to say it's easy for her to do when all of the organization members are guys.
Yes. And I think that's the other thing, is that she doesn't like the fact that she doesn't get the same respect as the men. And it pisses her off.
It's really interesting.
I apologize, by the way. There's clearly some.
Wait, who's talking? Who's talking?
I'm talking, and
there's lag going on, so I don't know when you guys are talking. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
That's all right, buddy. You're fine. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say that it's cool that you say that, because the only other girl character in the organization is Shion, and unless I'm wrong, I don't think Shoutout and Larxene share a single moment together.
No, I didn't have any moments with her. I had, what Sora, I had like most of my moments with the men. With Sora, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember talking to anybody.
It's like the opposite.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of what the Bechdel test wants you to do, is like have two woman characters share a scene together where they're not talking about guys, and it's like they went the complete other direction, where it's like, no, they're just not going to interact at all.
And they don't even know. I don't even know if Larxene knows about her. Well, I guess she does. She's there when she's inaugurated, but she doesn't talk to her. At the beginning of days. Were you brought back in to record new lines for 358 over 2 days?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Did they bring you back for 358 over 2 days, the DS game, or did they just reuse your lines from?
I think they reused me the entire time, which is very cheap of them.
It's fine. All I needed is battle quotes anyway.
Yeah.
So weren't even any cutscenes.
Yeah.
So.
But I know that some of the people they brought in to redo, like some of the main, characters. But for me, they just kept reusing. They didn't need more of the same.
Yeah. The weirdest thing ever was when I was going through the audio files, and it's like most of the characters from Castle of Oblivion, they're just reused. But then Zexion has one that's reused and one that's brand spanking new, and then it's just confusing and it's so inconsistent. I don't get it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's very expensive to do those games. I mean, it's very expensive to record all those actors. Very. I mean, not that Kingdom Hearts doesn't make a ton of money, because it does, but it is very expensive. So if you're reusing the same things, I mean, why redo them?
My fair share of money into the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have, but it's definitely a money pit too for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do have
it's kind of like a high risk, high reward type venture. I mean, even from the outset, the idea where it's like you're tying so many different IPs together. Like I always tried explaining to my friends who aren't as into the franchise, like, because I was explaining to them why the book Ultimania got released in America like 2 years after its printing in Japan. And I was like, it's probably a legal nightmare. Like. You're just trying to get clearance to use the images and likenesses of all these characters. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and there was many Japanese men there, when I was recording, and I
Did you get
had
to talk to Nomura at all?
I don't know, but I had to translate. I had to do the English version and listen to the Japanese version, and that was actually really cool. That was really, really cool.
Yeah. I actually have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a question, and this actually isn't in the talk, but it just came to my brain. I know in Recom and Reach Chain of Memories, all the cutscenes are pre-rendered in the Japan, so they didn't reanimate the lip sync for English, so I'm assuming that you had to copy the lip flaps for that.
Yes.
Whereas in Kingdom Hearts 3, they would reanimate the face to your lines. Was that, which one did you like doing more, the anime dub style or Kingdom Hearts 3 where you're allowed to talk as long as you want or whatever?
The dub style is kind of fun. I feel like I was really good at the dub style. I was pretty good at the dub style. I mean, they're both fun, but when you're actually doing something that you have to accomplish, I'm a person that likes an accomplishment. I like a beginning and an end. I like finishing something. So for me, it was nice to actually get to do the dubbing part. Like I saw the line, I finished the line, and I was done.
Yeah.
Which is why
there
I
was an
stopped
acting
being an
thing
actor.
that I learned of a while back. There was a thing I learned a while back because of Michael Keaton, actually, where certain limitations put on your performance can, if things happen to go right, can actually sort of enhance your performance in a way. Like the thing with him was when he was playing Batman in the 1989 Batman movie, the cowl was designed that he couldn't turn his neck, so he decided to make it so that he was more dramatic in his like full body movements as a result. And I think maybe in having to dub the voice at a certain pace, from the scenes that I remember from Chain of Memories, or Rechain of Memories rather, you speak at a certain pacing with your sentences and cadence that almost seems to help with this idea of like your words just dripping, oozing with like animosity and judgmentalism. And I think you actually made it work for you in that instance.
You did, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it was super fun. It was super fun. I mean, these are great memories in my young life. I really enjoyed those times. I don't have any interest to do them anymore. People ask me that all the time. They're like, I send my clients. So my talent auditions for voiceover all the time, and my talent books voiceover all the time. I've got talent in Kung Fu Panda. I've got talent in all the Wild Robot, all the big movies and stuff. And I send them examples of myself doing the audition, and they copy me. And that's how we do it. And so people are like, oh my God, you're so good at this, why don't you still do this? And there's really not one part of me that wants to go back in the world of auditioning. I admire those people that do, but it's just not for me.
Does that mean that you don't want to be Larxene anymore, or you're okay with sticking with the characters you already do have?
If they ever asked me to do Larxene again, I would totally do it, because that's something that I did. But I'm not interested in auditioning for any more roles in any games, any shows, anything, because I'm very focused as a talent manager. And I also think that you can't do a bunch of things well. You have to do one thing really, really good, because you're spreading yourself too thin. And I've done that before, where I've spread myself too thin. So I have to I have to focus on one thing. When I was a voice actor, I did it really well, but I have to do one thing in order for me to do it really well.
Hey, you're a mother now.
Like, or I wouldn't even say average. I'd say like.
So. Sorry, what were you saying, Blue?
Sorry, I'm sure I keep making the timing off.
You're fine, man. I'll ask.
I was just saying. Sorry, I was just saying that any person is going to be very limited on the amount of, whether it's information you can retain in your brain, the amount of like muscle memory you can have for certain physical tasks, like any kind of talent. You can only have so many of a significant enough quality to be considered a professional at any one given time. Nobody is able to do everything, and so I definitely understand what you're talking about when you're saying that you didn't want to spread yourself too thin, because if you try doing too many things at once, then it would be detrimental to the quality of the work you put out.
Correct. And one of the things that I do like to do is have some quality work. And I feel like if I were to do voiceover Listen, you know what I say in my life is you never know what's going to happen to anything in the world. Okay. What if one day talent managing isn't a thing, right? Then of course I'll go back to voice acting. Let's just say, right? I know that that's not the case though, because that's not the case. But let's say that it is. So I can't say never, 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 right? Never. It's not never, never, never. But while I'm a talent manager and while I feel like I'm good at it, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Mm-hmm. I have a question. So, were you available were you aware of Kingdom Hearts before it was before you were cast? And have you played any of the games or anything like that?
I was not aware of Kingdom Hearts before I was cast. No. Okay. And have I ever played the game? No. I'm just being honest. Because I've never really played video games.
That's
and
right.
I have 2 daughters who don't play video games. They play Roblox. What is it? Roblox? Okay. Roblox and Minecraft?
Yes.
Okay.
Roblox and Minecraft. Those are very similar games, both of which I've played, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Great. So they play those
Open
all the time.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they play those all the time. They are not even impressed that I was in Kingdom Hearts. Now, all their friends, no, they're not impressed. Their friends are impressed. They're not impressed.
Sad.
A lot of my clients are impressed. I would love my kids to be impressed. They're not impressed.
I'm sure they're impressed about other things you've done. I'm sure.
Maybe. When one day when you guys have children, they're not going to be impressed with things that you've done, and,
right.
and it's super sad. When they'll be impressed when you're older.
They only really have the perspective of their little bubble that they've grown up in so far, and because parents are such a big part of that, a lot of times they're just like, my dad disarms thermonuclear devices. Isn't that normal? Like, I grew up with that. Obviously, I'm not impressed by that.
That's right.
Not that cool. My parents aren't that cool. Come on.
Yeah. Well, the funny story though is that my sister is the voice of Sophia the First, and she's on Modern Family, and my sister's Ariel Winter, and my daughters could have cared less. She lived with us all her life. They could care less when they were up to 9, 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old. Now they're 15 and 13, and they care a lot. Now they use it as a popularity tool. They use it for everything. So now
my sister was in Broadway.
That's right. So now it's like my mom's sister is Ariel Winter. Now that they care now, but they didn't care forever. Now they didn't care forever. So maybe one day when they have kids, they're going to care about their mom.
Maybe someday. Yeah.
So one day it'll hit them.
Right there, being like, I wasn't interested when it was genuine, but now that I can get some clout out of it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
So that's how kids work. When you have them, you'll see. They're all young. Yeah. When I used to tell them, your aunt is Sophia the First. Your aunt Sophia the First. When they were little watching Sophia the First, they were like, who cares?
Yeah,
and now they're like,
My mom actually ran a daycare when I was growing up, and so I learned very quickly because she would keep getting new kids to take care of. The age gap between me and the kids slowly widened, and I wound up getting a new perspective very quickly of like, oh wow, was I like this just a couple of years ago? Because this sucks. And especially as I got into my teenage and young adult years, I really started learning a lot more about like just how, what's the word I want to use? Jaded, I guess, kids can be. And it's very disheartening sometimes.
It's kids are, they don't mean it, but it's just how they're raised, kids
they're dismissive.
They just don't know any better.
Yeah. So
have you I already asked that. Are there any specific cutscenes or quotes that you did as Larxene that you are are like your favorites or specifically memorable moments as Larxene in the games?
I think that I only remember the fact that I constantly cut people down. So I was constantly cutting people down. So I feel like that, I did that more often than not. And that was the most memorable thing I remember is that, God, I was like, God, I don't say anything nice to people. And that's really what I remember.
One of the most wildly sadistic fictional characters I know of.
Correct.
Yeah, she's so sadistic. I swear.
Yeah. So
I brought up Days earlier. In Days, in the one of the textful cutscenes, she literally tells Roxas to go smash his head against a window, and it's like, wow, that's like as close to go kill yourself that Kingdom Hearts ever got. And I was Larxene saying that. Like, wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty
terrifying.
Pretty epic, So she's really not that nice. And I just remember that. So, I think awesome. I think that's what I remember as being like, wow, God, I am really not nice,
I think
speaking of not being nice.
Mm-hmm. What did you say?
What did you say, Blue?
I said, I think these days the internet calls that gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
There you go.
Yes, they do. Yeah. So, speaking of being nice or not being nice, have you heard of Elrena from Union Cross? Kingdom Hearts Union Cross.
I have not.
Okay. Do you know? So you know how nobodies like Larxene, they have a somebody, like they had a life before they died. I don't know if you understand that, but like when you're a nobody, when you die a certain way, you become a nobody. That's where your spirit and body go, and then your heart becomes a heartless.
Okay.
But before you became Larxene, your character's name was Elrena. That was her name.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and every time a character is turned into a nobody, their name is scrambled, and they add an X into it. So Elrena is just Larxene without the X and scrambled.
Oh, that's very interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah,
it's very
and in the mobile game,
not sit here and be like, actually,
who cares?
Mark,
I got
you're
it wrong.
wording it incorrectly.
I know.
They don't die. They specifically have to be alive for the body to continue acting.
No, you know what? Not the point of what I'm saying. I'm a little tired. Okay, I'm trying to get through these questions. I'm sorry. So no. Anyway, so
my weird time either.
You're fine. You're fine. We both have ADHD. We can't just not let that stuff. I know how that is. Anyway, so Elrena in the Union Cross mobile game, which is text-based completely, no voices. She's still got that like spicy attitude.
Yeah.
But she's like way less of a bitch. She actually cares a lot for Lorium, who is Marluxia in as a nobody, and Blue's laughing his ass off because he knows I'm getting things wrong, I think. But Marluxia, if you recall,
I was laughing because out of left field was like, oh, she's less of a bitch. Like, I was like, whoa.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
No, but like she basically in the Kingdom Hearts 3, she says like she joined the organization because she's with someone. Okay. I don't know if they told you what that line meant. They probably didn't, but like the internet assumes
I was really just along for the ride.
Yeah. And then when Sora's like, who are you along the line with? And she's like, my secret. And everyone believes she's talking about Marusha.
Wow, that was really good, Mark. You should be auditioning, for the show.
Oh, thank you. My secret.
For Larxene.
Yeah. If you ever quit, I'll sign up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm very curious because like
playing Larxene in the next game would actually
imagine the discourse on Twitter.
Right.
Imagine. So if Larxene comes back in Kingdom Hearts 4, since she's been recompleted, which again I know you don't know what that means, but she'll be Elrena again. She might not be much of a bitch anymore, So
we'll see.
I'm very curious to see how you play Elrena if they invite you back.
Listen, we'll see if they invite me back because, I think that I think people know that I'm not in the business as much anymore. So I don't know. I mean, I think that maybe fans would have to say, hey, we want Shanelle or I don't know,
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so.
They're also definitely not opposed to changing voice actors. I think Kyrie's voice actor has been changed. They changed the voice actor. For Disney characters, obviously, like Jiminy, like Joe wasn't the first.
Joe was the third voice
actor.
Yeah, they like to change voice actors sometimes.
They do, but the main cast almost always stays the same, with the exception of Kyrie.
It might also be a cost saving thing, like the same way that a fast food joint will have a quick rotation of new employees because they don't want to keep giving raises when they can just train a new person for cheaper. It might be like, well, we could get Shanelle back, or we could get this girl that sounds kind of like her and pay her 10% less.
Well, what they do is not even 10% less. They'd get a non-union actor and they'd pay them a lot less. So it's not even 10% less. It's a lot less. And that's been
100% pro unions.
Yeah, well, that's been happening in the industry, and that's what's stopping our industry. That's what's making people not want to act anymore, and because they can't make
Blue brought up Kyrie earlier. Fucking Alyssa Stoner, Allison Stoner is doing a whole campaign against Hollywood now, and more people are kind of rising up against Hollywood, and I don't blame them.
It's really a shame. It's really a shame that they
big example of this, and it's a wider. I'm going to try not to get too high on a political soapbox today. I promise, I swear, but I do have to say this real quick. There's a wider problem in just the American economy and the workforce industry, and you hear older people being like, oh, nobody wants to work anymore. It's like, well, yeah, obviously nobody wants to work anymore. Nobody wants to keep working harder and keep earning less. Like when jobs are cracking the whip, but giving you less health benefits, less pay, less whatever, it becomes less worthwhile to work. And obviously people are going to take exception to that. And it's very frustrating to me to see that people try to make that out like, well, that's a you problem. No, that's a problem with the jobs. They should treat employees better if they want to keep their employees.
Yeah. Definitely. So, for sure. So, we definitely need to do something about it because it's really starting to become a real issue. As a talent manager, it's people aren't going to be able to afford their lives.
Yeah. Well, I do hope they bring you back.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. Let's try and. I know we're not quite done yet, but I did promise you that I'll try and keep this under an hour.
Thank you, because I gotta get to.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize time that we were.
No, it's okay.
We still have 20 minutes left.
Yeah, I have so much work, and I've got to do it.
You're right. I'll try and shotgun some of these questions.
No problem.
Any special fan interactions relating to Larxene?
Any what? Say that again.
Special fan interactions, like at conventions or anything.
You know what? I've never been to a convention. I don't have a convention agent. I do need to get one. But I need to get a convention agent. I've been asked before. I just don't have a representative. I need one. So if you guys want to be a representative,
if I ever become a representative, whatever that means, I will absolutely try.
I need to get one because people ask me all the time, why haven't you been to a convention? You know, I love the fans. I get fan mail all the time, and anytime I can, I try to respond. But I love fans of Kingdom Hearts. I think they're awesome. And that's why I'm doing this. This is actually the first one I've ever done. So yeah.
Really?
So thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Yeah, you guys are the first one.
I swear there was a Larxene interview with you like 10 plus years ago. Well, that was like so long ago. I don't blame you for not remembering, but I swear that happened.
Wait, you what? Say that again?
There was another interview on YouTube.
Oh, that I did? Oh, okay. Maybe I did. But it was like 10 years ago, right?
It was it was like right when Burnt My Sleep came out. It was like 2010, 2011.
Yeah. I was going to say, it was not any time.
Either way, I'm still very flattered, and it does mean a lot that you came on here, and I do appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, let's see if I can get through a couple more of these.
No problem.
We're not even halfway done, and I need to get this show on the road.
All right.
A couple. Let me think. Have you ever let's see. Did you ever have a say in what your character, like how your character would word things or whatever? I know the script doesn't really change by a dubbing person, but
I did. They liked what I did sometimes. Sometimes they let me improv a little bit, especially with the efforts, like the fighting efforts. They did give us like kind of carte blanche to do some of the stuff that we wanted. So they would say, fight, win, fight, lose, fight hard, fight, soft. So, if you'd fight, win, how would you win? Would you, what I mean?
Your character
maniacally, nag over their corpses. What would you do?
They would just basically like, if you fought and won, they wouldn't say go. They wouldn't say like, you have to go, you know what I mean, or something like that. It would be my choice, right? And then if they wanted more or less, they would say. If that makes
that's
sense.
really cool. I didn't know it.
Yeah.
That might be a benefit of being a Kingdom Hearts original character, because I know when we spoke to Joe, he was like, no, they did not let me take any liberties whatsoever with my performance. Disney was extremely strict
on
how.
Maybe they just didn't like what he did.
Oh, spicy Larxene message. Okay.
See, there you
that
go.
Was Larxene, not us, Joe.
That was not Shanelle. That was Larxene.
That was Larxene leaking through.
Maybe he should
own any.
Right?
Oh my God! No,
wow. Okay.
I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna stay far away from the road you guys are picking. So, do you have any Kingdom Hearts merch or action figures?
Yeah, I do actually. I have a lot of the Kingdom Heart bobbleheads, and you know what I mean, like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. You got any Larxene merch?
I don't. I couldn't find any Larxene stuff. I couldn't. Yeah. I found like Sora, the bobblehead Sora, and stuff like that. So I got some of those for my kids for the future, just so that if they ever were wanting to tell their kids when I was not here anymore about me and that, that
we were just talking last week with. Oh, last week. Oh yeah, the Keyblade. Nice.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If Elrena gets a Keyblade, absolutely, I will personally gift you a foam Keyblade of Elrena if Elrena ever gets
one. There you go. Elrena needs it. Elrena needs it.
Hell yeah.
Also, the reason I bring that up is because there is some hints that she might wind up being a Keyblade wielder at some point in the story, because there was a line about her having like an ancient Keyblade legacy, and she was alive during a time where like everyone and their mother was a Keyblade wielder, so she might have been.
Yeah.
So we might wind up seeing one of her at some point.
Listen, we'll see.
I'll have to look it up. She might have actually had one for one cutscene, and everyone in the comments will be telling us. But I don't think she did. I'd be shocked if she did. But yeah.
Well, we'll have to see.
Your mic is a little weird.
Is it? Hold on. Let me see. Hold on.
Not Shanelle. Not you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Blues is a little like he's. I think he's fixing it. Nope, he's not. He's just looking at me right here.
He's looking at you with like a wide eye.
Yes, he is. He's looking at me with like, shut up. Have you ever? Oh, okay. So tell us a bit about Ariel and anybody else that voiced in Kingdom Hearts. I know Ariel did. Her sister did. Kyrie once, and for Birth by Sleep. And
yes. My sister is a huge voiceover artist. For some reason, we all have this voice, same voice. And my daughters as well. Both my daughters have done plenty of voiceovers. And for some reason, my daughter's on Tots, on Disney's Tots. She does a lot of voiceover for Disney. And my other daughter's on Evil on Paramount Plus. She's on on that show Evil.
Nice.
And so both my daughters are working actors, and so it's in the family, I guess, in the blood. And our brothers in the Addams family play Pugsley. So we're all that's my brother. That's mine and Ariel's brother.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Jimmy Workman. So.
That's really cool.
So Ariel, she's amazing. She does plenty of voiceover, and still she's doing she just did like a live action film or something
that's really cool.
Yeah, so really cool. A voiceover, but like with her body or something she just did. She's still very actively in the voiceover world.
That's really cool. I have a side question. And of course, this is like I know you're not her or anything, but would she be willing to come on in the future for an interview, or is she?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't. She's my sister, and we're like this. But for business, we'd have to contact her person.
I've tried. I have no idea how. The only way I was able to contact you was through your.
Is it at Gersh? You contacted the person at Gersh? Just because we don't mix it because it's so. I do know that it depends on how long we've been on and what kind of followers. You got to keep it up, and then she'll come on. She has to be super exclusive in order to maintain her, people. So, it gets crazy when you're up there. It gets crazy when you get up there in fame because, and I'll just tell you this because I read talent. In order for you to maintain your fame, in order for you to maintain your finances and your fame, you have to, hold some sort of, you have to follow the directions of your representatives, right?
Yeah.
And they have everybody starts somewhere, and then as you grow, you move up as much as you can. But it's an unfortunate world. It's an unfortunate business because you think that you just want to get out there and talk and just get yourself out there. But unfortunately, that's not how it is. But I don't know. She might be coming on here. I have no idea. So I
don't know. All I really meant to ask was are you willing to throw in a word or
sure. I'm absolutely willing to throw in a word for sure.
Yeah. Because I have no idea how to contact her. She's one of those actresses that I have not been able to get in contact with at all.
I'll send you her representative's email. You can throw them an email.
Okay, well, thank you. That'd be awesome. Okay, let's see if we can get a couple more of these in. Was there ever a time that you felt like, I guess that's a stupid question, if you felt like Larxene's out of character? I don't think that's ever happened, right?
No.
No.
I think she's pretty in character all the time.
Okay. Do you think her being nice in her previous life is out of character, or do you have any idea of what,
No,
like,
I think that
in your
most people,
head?
yeah, I think that most people who are mean have been burned in their previous life. I think that.
What do you think happened to her? Like, you have any theories or anything that you would like to give us?
I think that probably Sora burned her
Okay.
somewhere.
She definitely has a vendetta against Sora for sure.
What? What did you say?
I wouldn't necessarily say that she was even all that nice in her previous life. From what we've seen, she had like less bite to the things that she was saying, but
she wasn't insulting people, and she seemed to care.
It's like saying, it's kind of like saying fire is colder than like a nuclear blast. It's like, sure, I guess.
I'm sure she's not as much of a bitch. But
somebody hurt her somewhere. Somebody abandoned her somewhere. Something happened. Her family, something, and she has no regard for anybody. You know, and she treats everybody bad.
Get born cruel. Like a lot of times, people are almost too kind and too open, and then that causes them to get hurt, and then as a result, they like put up walls and start acting more mean. So I could definitely see that being part of her story.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you think Larxene will feel when she becomes like herself again and has a heart? Like, do you think she'll like? Do you feel like your character is the type of character to feel bad, or do you feel like she'll just move on? Like, how do you think your character will deal with that?
If what?
She just like how do you think your character will be in like Kingdom Hearts 4 or whatever? Like, where do you see your character going?
I think bitchier than ever. The worst kind of bitchy. Yeah, I think that there's no. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any niceness that's going to happen to her. I don't think there's ever going to be. You know, I'm not. I don't. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't see her being nice.
So even.
I don't see her being nice either.
So as Larxene, as you were kind of saying before, she doesn't have a heart. It's kind of like analogous to, I don't know, depression or like other like mental health problems. So like that now that she's going to be able to feel her feelings more strongly, it won't be a buffer to cause her to start being more empathetic to people. It'll actually make her more like hateful.
Yeah, I think that she's going to come back more pissed than ever.
That'd be an interesting spin on that. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that she's going to be nicer.
If they did get you back, and that was the direction her character went, you could absolutely like go ham with some of the voice delivery. Like if what she was before was more emotionally numb, and they were like, okay, now be pissed off.
Yeah, I just think that I think she's pretty ruthless. I mean, I don't think that she's looking to be nice to anybody at all, really. I mean, there's no reason for her to be. Why? You know?
True, yeah. Do you feel like she has, from the times that you've recorded or whatever, the games that you've done, do you feel like she has any connection at all to Marluxia beyond workmates, or do you think have you felt like she had a like romance with him, or even just buddy with him, or have you never even thought about that?
I've never really thought about that, but I'm not sure that she does.
Okay.
That's a popular theory, is that those two have something going on.
Yeah, in any of the lines I ever did, I never really felt like there was a
underlining theme.
Yeah. I never thought that.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
You might want to move on to our final question.
That's literally my yes. This is my final question. Is we ask everyone this: And the last 2 times have been the exact same, and I'm curious what your answer will be. What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, chocolate chip ice cream from Baskin Robbins.
Wow. All right then. Awesome.
Yeah,
That was
eat
quick.
ice. Yeah, I eat
Yeah.
ice cream almost every night.
That
so.
was not what.
Wow. 3 for 3. All 3 of the people we've interviewed so far
That's
are
my
like ice cream fanatics. It's amazing.
They said chocolate chip from Baskin Robbins?
No, they're like ice cream
Oh.
fanatics.
I am an ice cream fanatic, yes.
Yeah.
The last 2 that we interviewed were much longer answers because Joe started going into how he's like a hipster for ice cream and how he likes eating at specific places, and I think he was talking about how he buys a certain flavor that's only available like once a year in bulk, and then Vince started talking about different gelatos and places that he's eaten at. It's like they couldn't give us a single answer. Like, I love this and this one. And this one's amazing.
No, I only
and you were just like chocolate chip. Done.
Because here's the
Next
thing.
question.
I only like vanilla or chocolate chip. That's the only flavors of ice cream I'll eat. So I won't eat chocolate. I won't eat strawberry. I won't eat any other flavor. So for me, like there's no cookies and cream. There's no nothing. So those are the only flavors I'll eat. So like it's very easy for me with ice cream. So there's no variation.
That's really awesome because I'm very picky with my food as well. So
Yeah, it's like ice cream. I don't like any other flavor, so it's like so easy for me. It's the same one all the time, or it's nothing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we are at the finish line at the.
I've got a very specific issue with strawberry ice cream.
Is there any other questions, guys? Because I do have to run.
I was about to say we are right at the dot. No, there's no more questions. I guess would you like to come on again if we do like an anniversary special or whatever?
Sure.
Or like if you appear in another game in the future, we can have you back on, talk about it or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Let me know.
All right, and yeah, feel free to send me Ariel's contact or
I will. I'll send her team's contact to you. Okay.
Team's contact. Yeah.
Sure. All right.
Thank you so much for coming on, Shanelle. This has been great.
Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. No problem. Okay. Have a great day.
Bye,
you have anything left to say to the fans?
Thank you guys for liking me and liking Larxene. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Today's shout out is to Lee XP. She is a YouTuber who loves to do, she's a Twitch streamer, really. She does streams and videos about Kingdom Hearts as well as Final Fantasy. She hit Kingdom Hearts about a year to 2 years ago now. And she was a fan of Larxene, so I thought now would be a perfect time to show her off. Go and follow her, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more.